'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. All right, everybody. Hi, I'm Lorenzo Clark. Welcome to Vegas Nonstop with Jonathan Scott.
Hey, everybody. Jonathan Scott with Vegas.
All right.
We are coming to you live from Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel. Did I say it right? I mixed up
Yes, the
words.
Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel on Sahara, across from Sahara.
Brought to you by Alien Tequila. And I don't know what to say about Alien Tequila because I don't have any notes about it.
Well, the slogan is, there's an abduction in every body.
I like
Is that really the slogan?
So,
and sitting next to me is our guest, the headliner tonight,
Than a probe in every
Charles Fleischer.
Charles Fleischer!
Thank you very much to all the audience that's here and those who are unable to attend.
Yeah, tonight, starting tonight, Thursday, and Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. shows. Tickets are available on Eventbrite. I think we probably have it. Am I off? Okay, well, Ryan's going to help us out a little bit. Ryan Ahern is acting as cameraman.
Yes, have a round of applause for Ryan Ahern. Yeah.
Sitting next to Lorenzo
Jack
Clark,
of all trades.
Enoch Augustus Scott. And, of course, thank you, Mauricio, for opening up with Welcome Back, Connor. Mauricio on keyboards.
Yes.
And let's get this started, huh?
I think that was such an appropriate song. Welcome back.
Welcome Back, Connor. The reason we started
And
with
who
Welcome
wrote
Back,
that?
Connor,
Who wrote that song?
Who wrote that song?
Irving Berlin.
John Sebastian. Come on.
John Sebastian wrote
He said
that
that it was a hit
song.
song for him.
It was a hit song, The Love and Spoken. John Sebastian. Yeah, he was from South
Who's
Harlem,
John
New York.
Sebastian?
So Lorenzo, you've made this comedy room into something really special. I know you got TV stars and magicians. Charlie, of course, is tonight, and then you've got Cougarlicious next weekend. You want to talk a little bit about the club?
Well, there's a very funny lady named Donna Joy, and she's doing a show actually this Sunday. So we have Charles Fleischer here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, and then Sunday in the daytime we have our Motown brunch. That starts at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And then from 2 to 6 in the afternoon, we have Donna Joy with her Cougarlicious Tom Cats of comedy show. So it's 8 male comedians and an all-female audience. I don't think you could do it the other way around, but she's inviting some of the most prominent ladies of Las Vegas to witness these young comedians and see what they got. So that's on the Sunday, and then of course Sunday night through Wednesday night we do our King of Diamonds, Neil Diamond tribute show right here in the same showroom. So every night at 8 o'clock we have a show, and Sunday through Wednesday is Neil Diamond, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the A-Stars comedy. This weekend, starring the great Charles Fleischer.
Charlie Fleischer. And I do want to mention that Ryan Ahern is going to be here Sunday, September 1st.
Yeah, that's
putting on his 9-piece contemporary pop orchestra. You're going to want to see that in concert. You may have seen Ryan on his PBS television and 2-time Emmy-nominated pianist. But tickets are available, I believe, on Eventbrite. Yeah,
Eventbrite, and you can also find the tickets to the comedy show on Vegas.com or Ticket Kite. But as far as Ryan's show, this is his 9-piece orchestra. It's a big band feel, and he's an amazing show pianist. If you look at his PBS specials, he's really one of the great instrumentalist showmen. But he also does some singing, plays a harmonica. He's just super talented. It's a great show. And we're doing it downstairs on the big stage. So we have a big stage down there that we're doing a new series of shows. And Ryan's kicking it off on Labor Day weekend, September 1st. Get your tickets now.
And if you guys haven't been to Ahern property, it's right off the strip, right off Sahara. It's 300 West Sahara. You've got to see the place. Chef Joel is amazing.
Free parking.
And
That's right. Free parking, no resort fees.
Covered parking.
That's right. Covered parking as well.
It's 114 out.
That's right. It is. It's super duper hot.
The parking is covered?
yeah, it's covered. Covered with a V.
If you're coming to Las Vegas, it's a great place to stay as well. Very centrally located. Again, it's a non-gaming property, and free parking is available. No resort fee. Great place.
Can I just say
There's
one
a
thing?
noticeable lack of cigarette smoke.
That's right. It doesn't smell like
There's a
Vegas.
key word, I think, that is missing from many of the other organizations, and that will be class.
Cleanliness.
Class.
Class.
Classy joint.
I think
Class and
cleanliness
culture.
is kind of an understood because of health regulations.
We hope. We should open a
We
hotel.
do not hope. We observe and smell.
Yes.
I'm gonna go off with. I love doing this because you can stop me at any time.
Well, how
Wait,
about now?
before, wait. I just
Charlie
want-
Fleischer.
Wait, Johnny.
What?
One more plug because I'm super excited. I might take the night off. The dad from That's So Raven is
That's
going
right.
to be here on August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Rondell Sheridan will be here.
That's one of my favorite
next weekend
shows
as well.
of all time. That's so Raven.
Well,
so it's very exciting for me personally.
Anything's possible.
Yes.
You may,
And
you may,
Mauricio
you may
has been working
intervene,
on
yeah.
TV classic themes, and if you've never seen Lorenzo Clark, Lorenzo does something. It's a memory game that he does with movie titles. It's worth coming to the show, just to see that.
Thank you very much.
That's like an amazing thing. I can't
That's the
believe you do
movie
it.
story, and then I also do something called The Great Show Toonie, where I take requests from the audience and sing TV show theme songs. But it looks like Charles Fleischer is showing us
Charlie
some of his
brought some-
amazing
Yeah, let's
artwork.
try back to Charlie. I just
No, I
wanted to
just
get
brought
that.
it.
Thank you.
I mean, I will be showing that after the show, but I figured I'll come down here and I brought my my book.
Out of My Mind. When did you write this?
Wrote that in the late 40s.
In the late 40s.
10 stories of love, magical tales with thunderbolt twists.
That's correct.
Lorenzo,
Yeah.
did you bring any magic with you
It's
today?
fiction.
I'm constantly filled with the spirit of magic and transcend that through the
You
camera
don't keep
lens.
a deck of cards in your back pocket?
I hope
does.
you
I don't actually.
Sitting on
I
his-
have.
It's an 8-point type.
I probably have 3 or 4 decks of cards in my bag over there, but no. But that you have to come to the shows because at our A-Stars comedy show we always feature the best of TV's stand-up comedians, magicians, variety artists of different kinds. So tonight with Charles Fleischer we have Alexander Great, who you may have just recently seen on the UFC channel. He looks like he's a wrestler. But he's a good-looking guy. A lot of the people.
What is he
He
going to be doing?
But he does magic, though. He does
Oh, he
magic.
does magic,
He does
okay.
magic and a little bit
maybe
of comedy,
he
but
put
he's,
people in a headlock.
yeah, he did.
Unless things don't go well, and then he will hit the crowd.
It could be, anything's possible.
You want to talk about these? These are amazing. These are beautiful.
All right, thank
He
you
does
very
amazing artwork. Formerly, his studio was at Jerry's Deli.
Which one?
much. I did
Studio
work
City.
there, but I have created art in almost every situation. I love to express myself in different fields, both writing and then visual and in comedy. It all blends into a similar chemish of a Havadalah.
How?
Yeah.
These are prints,
I
I'm
love
assuming, yeah?
The what?
These are prints?
Yes, these
What
are
is the
prints.
original? How did you... What
The
medium do you work
originals
with?
are made of Samsonite and old Prince records,
Nice. Nice.
and I find that they crunch up. I just brought a couple down. Well,
These are great.
I have a lot of my art available at charles-fleischer.com, and you may be getting a lot of reflection.
That's FLEISCH.
That is correct. So if you're at all titillated, or perhaps even motivated, or even
Well,
elevated,
you stop with titillated.
well, if you stop there, pal, you're never going to get home.
You wanna
Wait a
talk
minute.
about these pictures a little bit?
Sure, they are surreal, colorful, imaginative, and a lot like your dreams.
How big
Now-
are the originals?
Depends what you need.
I was going to say, it looks as though there's some sort of an alien encounter, and since we're sponsored by Alien Tequila,
That's why I brought these down.
these are interesting
I have,
entities from other
always-
planes of existence,
Always
perhaps.
had a propensity for the density of unknown.
Density
And,
of the density.
Propensity for the density, yes.
And the vessel with the pestle has the brew that is true.
Hey, Danny Kaye, don't make me say I'll come to your house and then we'll play. But VegasNonStop, little pack.
Now back to my introduction. Charlie Fleischer is an American actor, stand-up comedian, musician, and writer, left-off artist, and best known as the voices of Roger Rabbit, Benny the Cab, Greasy, and Psycho in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Woo!
Well, best known is perhaps questionable. In other domains, in China, I'm known as Otto the Swan.
Ooh, very nice.
Born in Washington,
Now,
D.C.
Wait.
Oh, go ahead, questions.
Wait.
my-
That's 3 waits. Would it not be more efficient to simply go wait?
Or wait to the third
can't
power.
hear.
That's a good wait, but it won't gain.
He can't. He can't hear. So if I don't scream it 3 times,
Who can't hear?
Jonathan
Jonathan Scott.
Well, if that's the case, then perhaps he's not here.
That's why he makes such a great interviewer. He hears nothing.
I didn't know that he was unable to hear, but I think you are perhaps exaggerating.
Only slightly. But were you interested in art when you were doing Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Did you get to go? I mean, like,
Oh, I've always been interested in art. I used to when I was in college or even high school, taking notes in a class, I would find myself drawing. And when it came time for the midterms, I could look at the drawing like a little mouse carrying a football inside of a refrigerator. I could look at that and remember, oh, that was cellular mitosis. Yeah, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. I could remember that by looking at the picture that I had drawn. However, when it got time to the final exam, like, I was a scarecrow eating a duck outside of an ice cream parlor. I have no idea what that none, but it was a good drawing, and I failed that part of the class. But, you know, a lot of it is luck.
It happens.
Born in Washington, D.C. Was that your answer to your question?
Well, no, but did you get to like go behind? I mean, did you watch them draw? I mean, did they let you watch the animating process? Were you able to scratch an itch?
Well, watching them draw cells was not really a profound itch. You know, I like to see the work that has been created. I remember the first time I saw a Salvador Dali painting, and I couldn't believe I was seeing something, you know, in front of me that represented a surreal world, another place. Or even Kandinsky, even though it was geometric abstraction. I've always been fascinated by art and how an artist can create something and you can go into that world.
M.C. Escher would be another one.
Thank you, and that is absolutely correct. The name Fleischer, Escher is within Fleischer. Of course, Escher mostly did reverse in the sense that he would do prints and engravings and then make a print of what he did.
Well, that's why I asked if you have an original in a large format or if you went right to plates and prints on these.
Well, I cannot reveal that at this time because of my backers are in Yugoslavia and they're very sensitive about any kind of plate.
Born in Washington, D.C., Charlie studied medicine at Southampton College.
Oh wow!
And then part of Long Island University before transferring to study acting at Goodman School of Drama at the Art Institute of Chicago, now at DePaul University. I don't know why they
Let me
don't call
just
it Goodman.
correct if I may.
Yes.
I studied medicine. I smoked a lot of weed. I don't know if that's...
You're a researcher.
Oh, I'm a doctor.
Oh, in that case, we all studied medicine.
There are a lot of doctors in the crowd. I did have ambitions to be a doctor, but they kind of modified, realizing that as a doctor you could treat one patient at a time, but doing comedy or doing some kind of entertainment for a group of people, you can essentially treat the entire room as a single being. It's an organism. So I found that was more efficient. And plus, you don't usually catch things from an audience.
I don't know. I've caught a few things from my...
Yeah, I've seen the films. Let me tell you, you look just as good with your socks on.
Thank you.
I remember those art films with the black stripe across your eyes.
Charles Fleischer appeared in A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Woo!
The very first one, Wes Craven. What an amazing, amazing director. And talk about going into the inner realms of the mind and imagination. Yeah, that was also Johnny Depp's first film. That
Wow.
wasn't my first film, but it was his first film. And I remember being in the makeup chair and there's this good-looking guy down the thing and thinking, well, I bet he's going to make a lot as a pirate.
Pirate's life for me.
You're going to be a pirate one day and have an island. In the
Arg, mateys, cut off me leg and call me Peg.
Charlie got his first break, it says, on comedy television doing Rowan and Martin's Laughing.
Woo!
True?
Yeah, it's true because I just happened to be in NBC Studios. I was at the Comedy Store and I ran into Red Fox was there.
You big dummy.
That's right. And he asked me to give him a cigarette. So I went and got him. Here you go. He said, come by NBC. So he told me to come by NBC. That's where they shot Stanford and so on. And,
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
thank
dun,
God
dun,
you're
dun.
here, because without the music, these stories fall apart without music. I wish I had some South Pacific stuff to read.
There is nothing like a day,
Oh,
nothing
my.
in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is going directions I'm not prepared for,
Rowan and Martin
which
Laughing.
excites me.
Yeah, the fickle finger of fate.
You bet your sweet bippy.
You bet your bippy.
Gary Owens, there you go. And I ran into George Slaughter and Paul Keyes and these people in the hallway, and I ran into a writer for named Alan Katz, who had really cool shirts. And I showed him some of the shtick I had, and they said, well,
You do shtick?
Well, not shtick, but something resembling wood. Which means I would if I could, but perhaps I shouldn't. Should the wood be good for you, or would you take another point of view? So I was
Nailed that one.
I was Discovery of the Week.
I love wood.
I came out and played my Teutonophone, which was an instrument I constructed out of 22 pieces of lead pipe. When I was studying at the Goodman Theater, which I believe you mentioned,
I did.
the first year I stayed in the Herman Crown Center. It was an unfinished building near the Goodman Theater, and the upper floors were unfinished. And I went wandering one night, and I assembled some pieces of pipe, 22 of them, and put them all together to create a configuration that could be called an abstract bugle or trumpet. I had my mouthpiece with me because I used to play trumpet, B flat. Put it in, played it, and it was in the key of B flat. And that's what led to that. And then I also, when I was in Chicago, I played a building as a musical instrument.
You played a building.
Now, the Crown family is certainly a Chicago family, but
No, well,
what was the building?
I played the Sears Tower. The building was in the process of being built. It was under construction. So I took my trumpet mouthpiece and put some tubing on it and an amplifier and inserted it in the conduit running through the building. And then I played the building like a giant trumpet.
Woo!
When I went to Los Angeles, I went to the people of the Century City Twin Towers. I wanted to play dueling buildings. They didn't find it amusing. And I also wrote letters to the people at the Alaska Pipeline. I wanted to play the Alaska Pipeline because that would be the biggest instrument. But they also were not amused by my hijinks.
Oh, no.
and nobody else wanted to play the building.
How's your armature now?
I think you should save that for your socks.
Charlie had a recurring role in the 1970s TV series Welcome Back Kotter as Carvelli, as Chuck on the ABC series Laverne and Shirley. I guess you knew Gary Marshall.
Why, certainly. This is just, I feel like...
This is your life?
No, that's one of them. I also feel like a bad acid trip.
So this is your life?
From
But it's
Rhoda
actually-
Martin's laughing to Welcome Back Kotter, those are both
And Laverne and
groundbreaking.
Shirley,
Yeah, Laverne
classic.
Shirley.
friend of the.
That was when Cindy Williams was moving away from the cast, and they needed somebody to come in, and they came and saw my show at the Comedy Store, and they offered me to part. And one day, there was one...
So it was when they were in California, when they already moved to California?
Yeah, they had moved to California. It was they were at some aerospace facility, and Penny Marshall
Yes.
was in an anti-gravity suit. So she's hooked on wires, but while we're doing the scene, the wires broke and she fell to the floor.
Oh.
Not a good thing, but she was resilient.
I
And,
hope so.
But it was like pretty frightening for me to see Penny Marshall fall in front of me.
Right.
Yeah. What are you kidding? Penny Marshall. Gary Marshall's sister. Yeah, that was an exciting time. Jeez.
We had Cindy on the show many times, and Cindy was actually my neighbor here in Las Vegas. And what she would say, she was told a story about Gary Marshall, that Gary Marshall would always say, "What's the funny picture here?" And he would write the sitcom, the half hour, based on the funny picture. And the example would be Laverne and Shirley hanging on the back of the door.
Or
They
his
could have
sister
easily
falls
gotten
from
out.
broken wires onto the floor.
Yes.
Well, whatever the funny picture, and then Gary
Yeah.
Marshall would write the whole half hour based on that funny picture.
Yeah, I recommend his book, Wake Me When It's Funny. And,
Oh, yeah.
and it's a great book and a great read, and God bless Gary Marshall.
Does he
top
do
of
the
hat.
audiobook?
And Cindy.
Maybe. Good question.
Weird Al, Keep on Truckin'. I don't remember that show.
Well, that's two shows.
Oh,
Weird Al was the Weird Al that we all know and love, and I believe I played a keyboard player in his band. And Keep on Trucking was a summer replacement on ABC. And who was in it? Dee Dee Khan from...
Oh, Grease.
Yeah.
She was in...
I saw Didi Khan just recently with Adrian Zemed in a show called Middletown.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she was in Grease.
Uh-huh.
And
So was
Grease,
Adrian.
too.
Yeah.
Not the country, yeah. In Greece, I saw Jake Gyllenhaal performing in a version of Greece, but it was about the country.
That's Mamma Mia. That was a music.
And Shirley
This is
Valentine.
Greece. He went to school with my daughters, and it was a school production. And I remember hearing that, and wow, this kid's talented. He can really sing. And then, I knew him growing up, and it's his parents. His father's a director. His mother's a writer. Of course, his sister is an actress, too. His mother wrote the screenplay for something called Running on Empty.
He just did Sunny in the Park with George on Broadway.
Oh, cool.
Sondheim.
And then I worked with him again in Zodiac, which is probably coming up on your
It
list.
is. But before that, we've got that you were the originator of the quote, if you remember the 60s, you really weren't there.
You weren't really there. But that is true. And that has been attributed to other people, but that is false. Noma. There's even somewhere in Los Angeles, there's a review from someone saw my show at the Comedy Store and quoted that line, if you can remember the 60s, you weren't really there.
How true is that?
This is like you went deep.
I did.
I think
He went to
this is like
Wikipedia.
The man's a journalist. What can we
this
say?
is
He's a
beyond
journalist.
Wikipedia. This is-
Roger worked with Roger Waters on an album Amused to Death. You played a televangelist.
I did indeed, Roger Waters, and worked with Roger Waters, and also I worked with Roger Miller,
Wow.
King of the Road.
King of the Road. Yeah, what a great guy. I was just talking about him yesterday. I met him. The Mike Douglas show flew me to Philadelphia to play a building there. Well, things of all tie-ins.
They wanted to, you were getting requests to play buildings?
I'm telling you, this was big time. No one had done this before.
Yeah.
And,
Have you seen the Sphere?
it's two around. It'd be a nice sound.
Only play whole notes.
And, yeah, easy for you to say, Donut Man.
That's Mr. Donut Man.
Roger, hold your horses. Roger was in the limo going back to the hotel, and then he ended up hosting the Merv Griffin show for a week, a couple of weeks later, and invited me to be a guest on that. And on that show, Rich Little and his brother were on.
And Rich Little plays here at the A-Stars Comedy Show.
I brought it up, mister. I don't waste my segue.
I don't know who's on first.
Rich has a brother?
What?
Rich Little has a brother?
Put your socks on.
What does the brother do?
He doesn't do
Little
what Rich
Richard.
does. He does impressions of Rich.
Charlie's also a
skill.
musician, songwriter, performing as a guest on harmonica with Blues Traveler at
That's
the Wiltern
true.
Theater in Los Angeles, November
I love
22nd,
Blues Travelers.
Yeah.
back in
John
2022.
Popper.
You know, I said to Lorenzo that I thought you played every instrument.
No, he only plays the building, piano, harmonica.
I play the ones that seem important to me. Anyways, I started with the harmonica. I started with trumpet when I was a kid. But you can't really sing and play it at the same time, although Louis Armstrong certainly did well. But trumpet players didn't seem to have that kind of rock and roll appeal. Although there's guys out there that certainly made that a true statement of falsity and high pachalic. Yeah, I did that. And I was excited to play the guitar, the piano, and I've invented some instruments too. I invented a 13-string guitar.
Oh,
Just one extra.
Well, it's not one extra. 12-string is just doubling of the 6, which has E's on both sides. But this, there are 12 notes in the musical scale, so I included all the notes in this guitar, and they progress across the fretboard in fourths or fifths, depending which way you want to go. So it's kind of, I inserted the missing strings.
the missing strings.
Yeah, well,
I was more worried about the insertion.
I was relying on you. Finally, I've gotten used to your rhythm. And I was expecting, I said, where is he going to insert it or not? And then he went, ow, too soon.
You feel like playing something now?
To what?
To the piano.
Not with this guy sitting there.
I think he would move.
I'm good.
Or you want people to come to the A-Stars Comedy Show
And see you
tonight,
play there, right?
tomorrow night, and Saturday night at the Ahern Hotel, luxury boutique hotel on Sahara, across from Sahara here in Las Vegas, and see you play the piano live.
Well, yeah, I played the piano. I'll tell you what I do. I probably shouldn't spoil it. in my act, I do shtick, you know, bada bada boom boom, I get this that, and I will talk to people in the audience, and I will extrapolate information and show correlation between the individuals who are randomly gathered. Then, at the end of my show, I go to the piano and I make up songs about the people I spoke to.
Genius.
Wow.
I've seen you do it. It's an amazing.
Well, you're too kind. You really are.
It's
and,
very amazing.
thank
You gotta see it,
You had
folks.
a weekly web show, Fleischer's Universe.
Oh, yeah, if you have a time machine.
They have everything here at the Anchor.
How many weeks did that last? The weekly show.
Jeez.
Looks like a year. Looks like you did it for a year.
It looks that way, but I didn't.
38 weeks.
If I can, I'll throw some titles at you and whatever comes to mind on some of these. The Death of Richie.
Oh, man. Robbie Benson. Paul Wenkos, I believe, was the director of that. Ben Gazzara
Wow.
was
Love Ben
in it.
Gazzara. Great guy.
Rod Steiger was supposed to be in it. And Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother, was in it. And I played a character called Brick. And I was like a stoner. And then I became friends with Robbie Benson. And then I was in a couple of movies that he did, One on One.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, really sweet kid, Robbie Benson.
Yeah, whatever happened to Robbie Benson?
Wasn't he the voice of the piece?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
sang that. He and I think Carl are, they live in, I think he teaches
Okay.
college.
Wow.
Hill Street Blues.
Hill Street Blues, yeah, Charlie Hayde. I was a character called Malibu,
Malibu.
yeah, and I was like a car mechanic. I could fix anything, man. And they arrest me, and then I, start to steal a car, but then I tune up the car and it goes really fast, and then they took me to the station, but I escaped, and then I fell through the ceiling.
Wow.
I think it was called World War III.
I don't know.
Something. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Google it. If
Our
I'm
friend
wrong,
Then when you
France.
fell through the ceiling, were you on wires like Laverne? And
no. As a Jewish person, I try and avoid that.
okay.
It's called stuntman. Bring in a curly hair,
Stuntman, that's a
wig,
nice
and
Jewish
stunt boy.
Hill Street Blues was huge. Huge hit for Dennis Franz. Made
Size stuntman.
Yeah, sure, all those.
Another Chicago guy, Dennis Franz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dennis Franz.
Real
Yeah.
last name was Schlatka.
Was he the first
That's
guy?
the kind of stuff I like. Little like Baxter Schlatka. All day long. I've been waiting to hear someone say Schlatka.
Dennis
And then I
Schlatka.
convinced myself there's no way anyone's going to
Dennis
say
Schlatka.
Schlatka, and you fulfilled
Yeah.
my deepest wish. Thank you.
Now we're all going to Schlotsky's
Night
Deli.
Shift. Was that Henry Winkler? Night Shift?
That was a Henry Winkler.
And Michael Keaton, right? Edible
Michael
Paper.
Keaton, and directed by Ron Howard.
Yes.
Clint Howard's older brother. One of the few people who were child stars and went on to have a career. Kurt Russell being another.
Yes.
And, I had a really good line in that. I was in jail, and Michael Keaton and Henry Winkler were in the front of the cell, and they're looking around, and I think I wish I was dead, and I come up to him and I go, "You want to be dead?" Years later, I'd be at a stoplight, and someone would come up and say, "You want to be dead?" I'm going to be dead. Yeah.
Wait, me. You met Princess Diana?
I did. I met her twice. I met her first at the Princess. No, I think first was at the. First was at the
Kensington
premiere-
Gardens.
Premiere of Roger Rabbit.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a really nice picture. And then again, I did an event, the Princess Royal Trust.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one where Joan Lennon said, the people applaud the people in the back. This is actually a jewelry. I have. And you look at the picture, and people say, "I think she like you." And I said to her, because my kids were about the same age as hers, and I said, I have 2 girls, and if my girls were to marry your sons, they would be real Jewish American princesses. And Princess Diana said, "That's not very likely."
Not very likely.
Very likely.
That's great.
Now, we couldn't listen if we didn't ask
one
you
more
for-
time, me. One more
What?
time, me. And you did some bit with Robin Williams where he dressed up like Mickey Mouse?
Well, some little bit. Perhaps you're referring to the Academy Award.
Yeah.
Some little bit. Oh, you went to outer space with Buzz Aldrin? Some little bit. You discovered DNA with Watson and Crick?
Just
Just a little double helix thing. I tell him it's not so important. Double helix, schmelix. Felix the cat has a better pronunciation. Radio. Yeah, Robin and I did that together.
That's crazy.
And the monitor with our lines written on it, which we had written and rehearsed at the improv days before, it went out during the thing.
Wow.
So it was a good opportunity just to go off, to just do our stuff. Yeah.
Well, going back to
That's
Welcome
right.
Back, Kotter, I was doing a little thing, and I saw that Gilbert Gottfried was also on Welcome Back, Kotter. Maybe, an episode or two, but
I never knew that.
What, did he play Ron Palillo's brother?
I know you can do the boy. You can very easily fall into.
Oh, Mr. Carter.
I can never do Gilbert because he's too brilliant. I don't even attempt to do that. But I
Jonathan,
love
do my
Gilbert.
favorite Gilbert line.
Oh, Gilbert would do this routine about doing impressions. And I said, "What's your impression of Humphrey Bogart?" He was a small man with a huge personality. That's my impression.
I also worked with Gilbert on a show called Thick of the Night.
Oh, yes.
And Richard Belzer was on it.
Oh, wow.
Bells.
The Bells, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Remember, in the early days, Cheap Trick. I would walk around talking to Robin Zander. Yeah, Gilbert. Remember one time he came to my house and brought me some crayons. God bless him.
He was
I love
very
Gilbert.
quiet. He was quiet when
He was a wonderful man.
Yeah, funny. We had him for 12 weeks. He only did the bit 3 times, The Aristocrats.
Oh, yeah.
He only did it 3 times in like 12 weeks.
That's all you need.
That's
That's enough.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Got a story about it?
Bow, 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 bow.
That rings a bell. Oh, you're talking about Lupin Le Bon. Well, Robert Zemeckis, the director of that and Academy Award winner, Forrest Gumple-Bixstein, he had seen me do my stand-up at the Comedy Store. And I think I read for something in Romancing the Stone. It was the Spanish guy, but they didn't want to hire, a white guy to play that. But he thought that I would be perfect to create a voice for Roger. So I went over there. They were screen testing other actors. I worked with Ed Harris, James Wood, several other people. And I would be off camera doing Roger Rabbit, which is the way that we ended up doing it. When we were in England at Elstree Studios, I would have my own microphone off camera, and I would watch Bob Hoskins, whatever he did, I had to react to that. I began to call it trans-projectional acting, because I had to put myself into the space right in front of him. So if he pulled my ears, I would have to react to that. And I also asked to have a costume made so that I would look like Roger Rabbit. Because when you're doing a movie, you go to your trailer or wherever it's changing in, and you put on the costume. And there's something transformational about that. There's the alchemy of acting in cloth.
Putting on the mask, as they say.
Well, more the cloth, actually.
Very good.
You must say that. And I decided that it would be nice to wear something because I didn't want everyone in England, all the crew, to think, this guy was wearing corduroy again. And we were on the lot, Elstree Studios in Bournemouth, also filming one of the Superman movies. And I was filming Willow at that same time. And Ron Howard was there, bringing him up again. And one of the cast or crew, one of those other films said, I saw this guy, Roger Rabbit. Doesn't look anything like Rabbit. So me in my costume. But Bob Hoskins, at first, I thought I was crazy. Because, I wear the costume. But then, after several weeks, he thanked me because it helped him get into, seeing Roger. Because he had to visualize Roger right in front of him.
Yeah.
So it was, if I'm just doing a voiceover in a studio where it's just for an entirely animated film, there's no need for that. But this was an interaction. It was they really have never done anything like that.
Yeah, it really hasn't been matched.
Although when I did a movie with Johnny Depp about the little iguana, Rango.
Oh yeah.
The guy who directed that, he shot the whole thing like everyone was there, even though they're playing animated characters, just doing it so they would have something to animate to. And that was like similar, but that was just for the purpose of educating the animators as to what possible moves, the interaction of the characters.
I also read that you put in the lisp and the stutter, and you didn't think you would be able to keep both.
Well, you're half correct. Roger Rabbit doesn't have a lisp. But they said that you need to have a speech impediment. All great tunes have a speech impediment. And they had suggested a lisp and a whistle. And I said, that's tired and old. So, I'd already gotten the job. I didn't want to lose it, so I better come up with something. So I... So it's a cheek flutter, which the origins go back to Hunts Hall and the Bowery Boys. Satchel used to go like this.
For you kids at home,
The Bowery Boys and Hunts Hall.
I used to have an impression I did about flying saucer landing on a horse, which was
Yeah.
flying saucer landing on a horse.
that was
Like the Jetsons.
three
That's
runs.
why you were studying medicine back then.
Well,
Yeah. That's right. You've had a career, but Pauly Shore is dead kind of jumped out at me as himself.
I think that's a misnomer.
It
It could be.
Yeah, I think you're in that movie. I think Pauly Shore's dead. I think most of the Comedy Store regulars at the time were.
It could have happened. I can't give any real details other than
that he's not dead.
Paulie. He was a little kid.
Yeah.
Mitzi were in the store when I first went there to work. It was Sammy Shore, and Rudy DeLuca. Rudy DeLuca, who worked with Mel Brooks.
Oh, I don't know of him. But Sammy, I got.
Yeah, if you look at the silent movie, I think Rudy was wearing braces. But it was pretty incredible to just be a part of that whole construct.
I just watched Funny People recently again. That was.
Yeah, well, that's Judd Apatow as the director. What a track record he has. What a funny, great writer and director.
I didn't know that he started as a stand-up.
Not only started as a stand-up, he started doing a radio interview. He got in touch with me when he was still in school. I was performing in Long Island, and he did an interview with me. And then later I thought, this is Judd Apatow. Wow. Wow. Yeah, he's pretty incredible. And that was pretty much improvised. And Seth told me that most of the other people that shot that day, they had to reshoot them. But the stuff that I came up with, they kept, which is great. It was,
Well, we play a little game on the podcast called Truth or Bullshit. And
or brown
Enoch,
sugar.
well, here we can say bullshit.
Can you say that on
And
this
next
show?
week, I think we'll be able to drink. Yeah, we can say bullshit.
I'll still
What is
say
that,
brown
tequila?
sugar.
Next
Alien
week, I
tequila.
think we'll have permission to, toast and drink on this game show. So if you get it wrong, you could drink, or if you get it right, you could drink. Listen, but
Anyway, slice it. Alien Tequila is a party in that bottle, boy.
There's a party in the bottle. I've had it.
And they've got
Our
great
friend-
merchandise.
Our friend
Yeah.
George Harris. Yeah, I have a hat too that maybe I'll wear next week.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. It's a great product, and we encourage you. And I know it's
And,
kind of
and
the house.
look at how gorgeous the bottle is.
Gorgeous
Unbelievable.
bottle.
Beautiful. Bob.
I think it is that your grandfather?
And if it landed on a horse, I don't know if he's. Shout out to our friend George Harris. Thank you for your sponsorship. And Enoch, if you're ready to read the rules of the game,
Okay.
I think we're ready to play Truth
All right.
or Brown Sugar.
Truth or brown sugar. So here's how we play truth or brown sugar. I will make a statement. You must decide whether or not this statement is true or false. If you believe it's true, you will say true. If you believe it to be false, you will say brown sugar. Now, these are not opinions. These are empirical facts. If you can,
BS.
you
Well,
can
I've said brown sugar
advocate
now.
for your own position. If you
I think what you just told me is...
he's already figured out how to play the game. If you believe me to be in error, you can advocate for your position, but at the end of the day, I'm the ultimate arbiter of what is truth and what is brown sugar. Are you ready to play Truth or Brown Sugar?
I have one preliminary question. The difference between true and false is bullshit or brown sugar. Is that the same as false, or is another parameter?
I think that's only a question you and your Buddha can answer.
Can we have a little opening music?
We're gonna go false.
For the purposes of today, it is.
We're gonna go.
And we are doing the Who Framed Roger Rabbit edition because
Holy moly,
I'm
skins!
firmly Gen Xer.
I would have watched that. I thought we were doing Welcome
I
Back,
watched
Kotter.
it last night. It was on at the gay bar a couple of weeks ago. I watched it last night at my own home. I was the perfect age for that movie. It was transformative. In my life.
Still are.
Let's have Mauricio do a little opening music.
All right, here we go.
You can do Welcome Back, Kotter. It's
Something is
okay.
here. Yeah, just play something.
Because I thought we were doing Welcome Back Kotter.
Yeah,
We can play anything.
we all
We
did.
can do the theme of Welcome Back Kotter. Is that what you're doing?
It's time to play Truth or Not.
It's trying to tell you truth or brown sugar.
All right, so number one, Bob Hoskins suffered mentally as a result of the movie, even seeing hallucinations of cartoon weasels in his daily life. Truth or brown sugar?
Who's supposed to respond?
Everyone.
Brown sugar.
That's true.
I'm gonna go true.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Wow!
I was y'all waiting for him.
Yeah, because he had to imagine,
Yeah,
and he's a
I
very,
don't know
a very
if
method
suffer.
actor.
I don't know if suffer is really the proper word. Making a lot of money, entertaining the world. I'm suffering so bad. Yes, we'll go to the Veterans Hospital and talk to some people in chairs.
But to bring back the Pauly Shore reference,
Next question,
because he's the weasel, buddy.
Oh my God, no, see, it's all connected. Speaking of Eddie, Steve Martin was the first choice for the character Truth or Brown Sugar.
Brown sugar.
Brown
Eddie
sugar.
Murphy.
Brown sugar.
Eddie Murphy was not the first
Mauricio.
choice. Is that
They
right?
wanted Eddie Murphy.
Well, I hear they went through everybody but Steve Martin. Is what
Eddie Murphy passed on.
How you doing?
yeah,
he
it's
wanted
brown
white.
sugar. But Chevy Chase apparently turned it down too.
A lot of people.
Really?
But Eddie specifically, when asked, if he regretted anything, he said that he regretted that.
Huh.
And I did too, because me and Eddie would have hooked up a lot
you
of fun
imagine?
stuff.
How you doing?
The movie is based on a book. Who whacked Roger Rabbit? Truth or brown sugar?
Brown sugar.
I'm gonna call brown sugar.
It's Gary Wolf, and I believe that is the proper title.
No, that's the third one. There's a trilogy. The first one that it's based on is Who Censored Roger Rabbit, and then Who Popped Roger Rabbit or something with P's, and then Who Whacked Roger Rabbit.
The third one. Well,
It's true.
bite my crank, matey.
And there was I'll let you imagine what the porno title was.
I think you know all too well.
I'm not bad. I'm
It's
drawn
who
that way.
reamed Roger Rabbit.
I was going to say
Harry
Who
Reams.
Whacked Roger Rabbit off.
And the movie I was in called Demon Night, that version of that was called Semen Night.
Brings me meaning to down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
All
You
right.
go down, you never come up.
Judge Doom was almost played by Tim Curry. Truth or brown sugar?
True.
Define almost.
He was tested and was their first choice.
Well, as long as he's tested. So I'm going to say he probably tested. I'm going to say he tested.
I don't think so.
Because he was probably, that was right after Rocky Horror.
Yeah, and Legend too. Don't forget Legend. Yeah, it's true. He was too scary though. The studio or the
Tim
Zemeckis.
Curry was too scary?
Yeah, in the role.
Yeah.
That's
I think
what
that
Wikipedia
whole
said.
thing is brown sugar.
The Vegas Golden Knights are the best team ever. Truth or brown sugar?
Who was what?
The Vegas Golden Knights are the best hockey team ever.
Just team ever.
Yes.
Sure.
Just appeal to the local crowd.
Oh, in that case, yeah, go goalie.
Speaking of Judge Doom, he almost had kangaroo jurors as henchmen.
That's true.
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 It's called Kangaroo Court,
Yes, of course, that's a reference.
based on a well-known concept.
Yes.
Yes.
The voice of Bart Simpson is in the movie.
Brown
Carol
sugar.
Burnett.
As
dude.
Bart Simpson?
No,
As
the
something
actress
else.
Lisa Cartwright.
Sure.
Do you know who she played?
She played Robin Hood.
The shoe that gets dipped into the
Into the dip.
Into the dip.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
She didn't have any lines. She just whimpered, but that was Lisa Cartwright, the future voice of Bart Simpson, or maybe at the time. There was a Nintendo
Cowabunga,
video
dude.
game, a Game Boy game, and a board game that was called Dip Flip.
I would call Brown C12-inch 22011.
Brown 29,
Brown sugar,
another
Brown
product
29.
from Uranus Corporation.
That's
from the
absolutely
group
true. There was a board game called Dip Flip.
Really?
Does that just sound disgusting?
Do you see it somewhere?
On the internet.
I won't see that. That's fine.
I can see maybe like that the guy from Mousetrap that flips up and goes into the thing, or like Ants in Your Pants where you do the little thing and it jumps into the thing. Could be something like that. That's some of that same era.
I don't know.
That-
I think
that-
it was literally tobacco, and they would
Wait a minute.
dip, and then they would.
Bing.
Our fact checkers will be back with that one.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Next
show
question,
you.
please.
I'm going to show you Dip Flip. It's right here.
But then you got to show the friends at home.
Everybody Google it if you're watching at home.
Yeah,
Dip flip.
there's. Look at the camera here. Dip flip right here. Look at this. Look at that. Dip flip.
Can you imagine that? That went through multiple, like,
Oh, now you show this. That's AI. Look, the kid has 9 fingers.
That's like a 13-string guitar.
That's like
A 13-string guitar. Yes.
Kathleen Turner ad-libbed the line, "I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. Truth or brown sugar."
Brown sugar. It's too good to be. It's got to be scripted.
brown sugar.
All right.
According to the internet, it is true.
Nah.
Huh.
Same in price right there.
I love Kathleen Turner.
Did you remember seeing it in the script?
I do too, but Kathleen Turner did not do the voice for the original filming. It was done by a lady named Betsy Brantley, an English actress, and they brought her on. And the singing,
Was Amy Irving,
correct.
who is Steven Spielberg's wife.
Mrs. Spielberg?
Amy Irving, Steven Spielberg's wife, does the "You had lots of money."
His former wife.
Former. Excuse me. I wasn't invited to the divorce or the marriage. So.
Well, I think you got the invitation. Perhaps you're busy doing something else.
With or without my socks on.
Ow!
Ow! In early drafts of the script, Roger died.
Oh.
Truth or brown sugar?
Brown sugar.
No, that's true.
Yeah, because in the book, it's wacky. In the original book that it's based on, cartoons can create doppelgangers of themselves through mental energy. So the real Roger dies, and they only have 48 hours to solve the murder before the doppelganger disappears. So I guess maybe in reference to that or something, in early drafts of the script, Roger died.
Yeah, and there's the Bugs Bunny Roger Rabbit feud,
Really?
which was settled because Roger simply said, "Hey, Bugs, I wear pants. I have to," and Bugs just ran away.
Yeah, what's up, Dak?
There was a whole thing that if there was a Disney character on screen, the Warner Brothers character had to be there at the same time. That's why there's
We had Donald and
Donald and Daffy were at the same
Yeah.
time. Mickey and Bugs appear at the same time
Yeah.
falling.
Spielberg was able to get those characters together, which was unheard of.
Yeah, that's
Imagine
an amazing
if
deal, yeah.
That would be like getting DC and Marvel together at this point. But
Yeah. Anything's possible.
all right, final question. What's the password?
Swordfish.
That's not it.
It should be.
What is Roger's?
Victoria's.
Please and thank you.
What does Bob Hoskins
Victoria's
say?
going armpit.
What does Bob Hoskins say when he knocks on the?
Ooga Booga.
No. Walt sent me.
Waltz.
As in Walt Disney.
As in,
Walt
who's the
Disney's
leader
the
of the
password?
club that's
No,
made for
Walt
you and
sent
me? Walt sent me or sent?
Walt sent me.
Yeah, Walt,
Walt
sent me.
sent me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is how we play Truth or Brown Sugar.
Woo! Yes, everybody. Aren't we happy we played this game today? Yeah.
Are we good on time? Are we good on time? We've
say
got to
about
do
this,
chat
Hey,
how quick?
How we doing on time?
Yeah, well,
Let's do ChatGPT.
But I
Where
did,
else am I
we
gonna-
also did this thing called
Get to perform with
ChatGPT
it.
Theater. It won't take long. It'll take a few minutes.
Okay.
And we did it. I just gave it. Well, welcome back, Cotter. because of the,
One last question. What's your impression of John Travolta?
Oh my God! Don't believe it.
You asking me that?
What?
I love John Travolta.
Right on. Tell him hey.
He's an amazing, what a sweet guy. He came over to my house once. I had one kid, I had another kid on the way. He said, "How you doing, Charlie?" So, he wrote me a check for $1,000, and John, I don't know if I can pay it back. He never paid it back. So that's what I feel
Wow,
about
wow.
John. He was just a sweet, beautiful guy.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Scientology scares me. But it's nice to hear.
You know,
Well,
So this is ChatGPT
run out
Theater,
Hubbard, you know.
where I just said, give me a script on Welcome Back, Kotter with Horshack and Carvelli going at each other, and this is what it came back with. So you get to play Carvelli.
Oh, really? You sure you want to do this?
No, I'm not good.
I think we should quit while we're ahead. Is this automatically part of the show?
It's not automatic. Nothing is automatic at all.
Well, the only thing that should be automatic is this should be in a paper shirt. Only because you didn't write it, ChatGPT did.
yeah.
You're not a fan of ChatGPT.
Not necessarily.
It's more of a way to teach the world that you shouldn't use ChatGPT because things are lousy without any.
No, they're not funny.
Right, but why embellish something lousy when we've done so much good?
That's right.
Okay, I say we scrap it then.
I say we scrap it
Just
and we
scrap
talk
it.
about Out of My Mind. Something written by a human alien. Tequila.
Tequila my Billa.
We'll
Yeah,
scrap the ChatGPT Theater.
This
We'll go
is
to
on
music.
Amazon.
We'll go to Amazon. The name of the book is Out of My Mind.
Charles
You-
Fleischer.
That's me. Thank you very
Charlie
much.
Fleischer.
Come to
8
the
o'clock
Ahern.
tonight. Ahern Luxury Boutique.
Thursday, Friday,
Hotel.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Eventbrite. 8 o'clock.
Eventbrite, Vegas.com, Ticket Kite. You can find the A-Stars Comedy Show, the best of TV stand-up, magic, and variety. And we do this every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Ahern Hotel
August
on
7th.
Sahara, across from Sahara. The room opens at 7 o'clock. We have a pre-show party, music, foods, drink, everything going on in
Free
the room.
parking.
Free parking. 8 o'clock, we raise the curtain, and we raise the roof on a great time.
Sir Fleischer, is there anything else you want to plug?
You know.
I just want to plug goodness.
Can people buy your artwork?
Yes, charles-fleischer.com.
Charles.
So the artwork's available. The book
Dash
is available. Tickets
Fleischer.
are available to see Charlie here at Ahern. And I want to thank you for joining us and playing
It's
along.
really
with,
awesome. It's so honestly great to meet you, sir.
Oh, likewise.
I've had a really great hour. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
for
no,
your
you're
stories.
about to do. He does like a Space Invaders thing. It's like really cool, and he does the sound effects too. It's like, and that's the please.
And if you want to come early, Joel's Chop House, great dinner.
Yes, amazing restaurants
Great
here
dinner.
on the Ahern property. Joel's Chop House, 5-star dining, beautiful steakhouse, very, very classy. We also have entertainment there on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes during the week, a little background ambient music. Downstairs we have Ottimo Pizzeria Cucina d'Italia, which is also open for breakfast and brunches on the weekends. Amazing brunches. We stole the
That
brunch.
Motown brunch sounds great.
And Motown brunch here in the showroom starting on Sunday, 11 a.m. Beautiful brunch spread and Motown music. How can you beat that?
And the wine room.
And the Vita Bella Wine Bar, where after the show,
I thought a wine room was when you went and was like, I hate this.
I want a
They're not whining in the wine
Mercedes. I want to get. Remember the Winers? Yeah. All right.
Mauricio went
With
to play
Joe
us on
Piscopo,
out here. Thank you.
Saturday
You're not
Night
the
Sports.
Scott, star of Zombie Burlesque, Lorenzo Clark, funny magician, and just a memory expert, Charlie Fleischer.
We gotta go. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Like us and share us and send us comments. News1LasVegas@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in. everybody.
Comment down below.
Thanks, Charlie.
That's right.
Stay where you are. We'll grab a couple of quick pictures.
Or give us a couple thumbs up.